No.
Did we say this last week? Getting older, isn't it?
Probably. I can't remember what I said last week.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Here we go. Welcome to the Pompey Pod with Mike and Dan. And we got a point at St Mary's, Dan. It's a good point, isn't it, I think?
Very good point. Yeah.
We'll talk about the game at St Mary's in just a moment, and we'll get some highlights on as well. But we'll start off, as ever, with our audience question. As we're about to talk about, our goalkeeper, Nicholas Schmid, is going to be out for a little while after his little accident with Conor Ogilvie. So who would you stick in? It looks like Killip's going to be in goal for this weekend, but who would you rather have in? It's going to be 8 to 12 weeks before Schmid is back. Who would you rather have in, Killip or Bursik? New signing, Joseph Bursik. Jordan Archer's not in the picture because he's not even in the 25-man squad. So it's between those two. But let us know in the comments, who do you think you would rather have in between the sticks? We'll talk about the game that happened at St Mary's. We're a little bit delayed this week because, unfortunately, various things have stopped us from recording. So, we'll let you get all those other podcasts out of the way now. We'll get to the real opinion.
Mike's hair loss being one.
Let's go with this. And what did you think of the game, Dan?
I thought it was really good. I thought we were excellent first half. Just didn't get around it enough, did he? Just didn't get it into that corner enough. But lovely hit. For those of you listening,
for those who are listening, by the way, we're talking. Dazell's little ping off the crossbar, which was a nice hit, wasn't it? It's just a shame he didn't get just a little bit more dip on it.
Yeah,
but
Murphy put some great crosses in, didn't he? Murphy did very well. Just a really good that first half performance. We just started well, and I was waiting for Southampton to sort of get back into it, and it never happened, did it? First half.
No.
Even people are saying that they sort of took control in the second half, but I think the nice thing about the game was that I don't think there was any point when I didn't feel comfortable. Felt pretty comfortable the whole way through it. They put a couple of bits of pressure on in the second half, but no major chances. I know we didn't create a huge amount ourselves, but we certainly had the better of the chances. I just think it's a really pleasing performance. I know that a lot of Southampton fans are coming out with that we're celebrating a 0-0 draw, but that just makes me think of the England-Scotland game. What was it in the Euros? Wasn't it? Was it Euros? Wasn't it? When Scotland when Scotland got a point. Got a 0-0 draw against England, and they celebrated, and all the England fans got upset about it and said, "Oh yeah, celebrating your 0-0 win." But that's to be expected. The Southampton are a 50 million plus team. We're not. They've just come from the Premier League. They should be beating us in theory, and I know I just said this, but that's what made me so pleased with the performance is the fact that we were pretty comfortable the whole game.
Yeah.
So it's a great point. And to go to a place like St Mary's, we kept one clean sheet away from home the whole season last year. We've had 2 this season. Really good, really positive, and good individual performances all the way through the team. I don't think anyone had a bad game. Defence was solid. Swift had his best game, I think. Dazell was class. Murphy was whipping those crosses in. So
it's difficult to say that when you go through man of the match. When I was looking for someone to pick for man of the match to put in the socials, I thought it was difficult to find somebody. It's difficult to narrow it down. There was obviously some standout players, like you say, Dazell. Both centre midfielders I thought were excellent. Both centre backs I thought were excellent. Murphy, very, very good. But there was many players, weren't there, that really had a very, very solid game.
Sorry,
go on.
I was just going to say, I think there was only 2 players that slightly disappointed me, and that was Chaplin and Segacic, purely because I think Segacic, from the fact that he didn't really get a lot of the ball, and Chaplin, I think, was just trying a little bit too hard. And I think the same with Segacic. They were just trying a little bit when we got in good areas. It was trying to do that killer ball when we could have kept the ball a bit better around there in that final third, I think. But that's understandable, isn't it? You're a Pompey boy, you're playing at Southampton, you've got to try and be the match winner, don't you? So, and that's me nitpicking, I think.
I see what you're saying. Do you know what I liked about Chaplin is that when he did get on the ball, I know he didn't really do a lot in that game. If you look at the game as a whole, he didn't do a huge amount, but you could see the quality that he has. Do you know what I mean? Just from his little touches, there's little things that he did. Like there's one where he just turned away from the Southampton defender as if he wasn't even there. And it's just little things like that. And it kind of started, it went from us being in the middle third to the final third in the space of a couple of seconds. It's just tiny little things like that where you see that once he starts to get more of a connection with the players, that's going to really pay off. I think it's going to really, really work in our favour. He didn't have the best of games, but I thought, like you say, on another day, it's just that everybody else had raised their game so much, haven't they? I thought we just, quality.
Yeah, just thought it was good all the way through. Like you say, it's very difficult to pick a standout player. I just thought they all played. I mean, I'm not going to go overboard and say it was fantastic and we're the best team ever and we're going to go and win the league, but it was definitely compared to last season where we come from, our away performances, playing a team like Southampton, big South Coast derby, away, the money they've spent, I think we should be well happy with a 0-0.
Yeah.
I think 0-0, it suited everyone, didn't it? I think the more honest Southampton fans would say, we just didn't want to lose because, they've been losing they lost consistently in the Premier League. They haven't really started brilliantly. They've done okay in the Championship this season. So I think a 0-0 was quite. I think everyone was sort of quite happy with that, weren't they?
I think ultimately the game came at a good time for us, didn't it? I think rather than for them, because they'd obviously gone off the back of, like you say, was it 4 games or 3 games without a win since the opening day, and even on the opening day they only won with 2 very late goals. They'd brought in several new players, albeit expensive players, and some people say, well, they should be able to slot straight in and be able to play straight away. I don't necessarily think that's true. You've got to build a team. And I think maybe if it happens in a month or 6 weeks' time, it might be a slightly different game. But ultimately, you can only play teams when you're due to play them. The big thing for me was, what was really strange is, like you said, you were never really worried at any stage. And it also, and I was never worried. I messaged a couple of people before the game, and one person said, I'm bricking it. It's kind of, I'm so anxious, been anxious all morning. And he said, well, how are you feeling? And I genuinely thought, I'm not at all. I'm really not. Normally, before any game, I'm nervous. But actually, I wasn't nervous at all before that game. And I don't know why. The only time I got a little bit nervous is when we went in at halftime 0-0, and I thought, we've been the better team. That's likely to come back and bite us on the backside. But it didn't, which is good. And I thought we were just solid throughout. Yes, they were marginally better the second half, but not by a long way. And if you think our goalkeeper only had to make one save, I couldn't believe when Schmidt went off, I was saying to my son, what they should be doing now is just piling high balls into the box, surely. Just put pressure on the goalkeeper. He's a brand new goalkeeper. He's come on after 15, 20 minutes in a derby, in a real difficult situation. And they didn't do that at all, did they? We didn't allow them to do it because I thought our fullbacks were excellent. But surely Southampton have just got the message from the manager's got to be, even if just pop a couple underneath the bar. Do you know what I mean? Just make him a little bit nervous, see what he's all about. But they didn't do that. And they didn't really test him until about, the 43rd minute or something. And that was like a slight deflection, wasn't it? And he dealt with it quite well. But the other thing is that what you said last week is that as long as we go there and we don't get embarrassed, we don't look out of place. And we didn't look out of place. I thought we took the games to them. Clearly, we were set up better in the first half. We were more for it, weren't we? And I think even if you look at their manager, and actually, let's talk about him now, because from the off, he looked nervous. I've not really seen him before, if I'm honest with you, but watching him throughout the game, what a weird little man. And I don't know if I'm saying this because I'm biased because of who they are, but he just seemed like a strange little man. Like, why are you running on the pitch after 2 or 3 minutes to throw the ball back for a throw-in? Why are you doing that? There's no need for the manager to be on the pitch doing that. And that's what started that first interaction between the managers, wasn't it? he's there kind of weirdly licking his lips the whole game. And then the incident at the end, whether that was Mousinho holding on to him too long or whatever, I don't know. But he just seemed a strange little character. And I just think he clearly hadn't set his team up. I know he moaned about it, he said it was a rubbish game and all this, but it's kind of like, well, you've set your team up not well enough to combat what you know is about to happen. You know we're going to come at you. You know we're going to be aggressive. You know we're going to be passionate.
Yeah, I don't buy into the like I said about the 0-0 jibe. I don't buy into the Pompey didn't come here to win. They didn't come to play. That because they were saying about us wasting time wasting from like the first minute onwards. I thought, well, I don't remember us. I mean, no more than any normal game, no more than any team does every single game. I didn't see anything out of the ordinary. I didn't even hear their fans saying anything during the game. You know, it wasn't like the fans were the only time they moaned was at their own players, I think. I just thought it was a strange, just sort of a get out, a throwaway comment. Saying that we it was a rubbish game and we didn't come to play and all this bollocks. I just don't.
Nonsense.
Sounds
Absolute
a bit
nonsense.
like sour grapes.
And like you say about the celebrating of the 0-0 draw. Now I've played football with some scummers, and in our chat, one of them had posted a thing about how Pompey fans staying behind to celebrate the 0-0 draw. No, they weren't. They weren't staying behind to celebrate the draw. They were staying behind because they weren't allowed out the ground. And what are they supposed to do? Just sit there and drink tea or whatever. It's kind of they're passing the time, aren't they? And it's kind of course, they're proud of the team. I think had we lost 1-0 or lost 2-0, I think they would have been exactly the same. They're there, the team were in front of them, and they, that's what we do as fans. I think that the whole nonsense, the fact that they booed off their team, is a reflection on the two fan bases in my mind. Yeah, because
and why shouldn't we? Why shouldn't we celebrate a 0-0 draw against a massive £50 million built squad?
Yeah, absolutely. All those people have been on coaches since like 8 o'clock in the morning. Do you know what I mean? And they'd had little to eat and little to drink, and kind of had just got a decent result against your main rivals. I think we had every right to sing, and that's what they did. So fair play to them. Man of the match, according to our poll, was I nearly said Jason Dazelle, showing my age. Andre Dazelle.
Good.
He seems to be getting consistent now, doesn't he? 63% of people put Dazelle in our poll. Second was Murphy, I believe, or possibly Paul. I can't remember. But again, just very, very consistent. He's becoming a 7 out of 10 every week now, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, I liked him last season. He got not a lot of stick, but he got a fair bit of stick. I think those sort of players always do. The sort of players like Dazelle, where a lot of their work goes unseen. He doesn't weigh in with a lot of goals. He's not going to get a load of assists. But yeah, I just thought he was really good against Southampton. I just thought he was just really up for it, and just solid, and just I know I keep saying it, but against a midfield of that value, he was a standout player in midfield. So
yeah, absolutely. I thought he was excellent. Very good. So that now means we have 5 points from our opening 3 games in this division, which is unbeaten. As you say, 2 clean sheets. Do you know how many games it was before we got 5 points away from home last season?
Oh, let me see. So it's the first. Oh God, it's got to be like sort of 12, 11, 10 or 11.
It's not as many as you might think. It was the 5th of October.
Oh, we had a few draws, didn't we? We had a few draws.
We had a couple of early draws, and then we beat QPR on the 5th of October, which made us 5 points. However, we now have 8 points from 5 games. How many games do you think it was last season before we had 8 points on the board?
I'll go.
It was when we got a point against Hull.
13.
It was the 13th game of the season. 13th game of the season when it was just early November last year. I did write it down. 2nd of November. There you go. I knew I'd written it down somewhere. 2nd of November. So the start of the season is good. What I think is a more fair reflection is when you look at the games we've played. So if, for example, if you take Southampton as being a team that came down, replace them with a team that went up. So let's say Leeds. So we got a point off both of those in the early stages. West Brom, we lost to last year. We drew this year. So that's a point gained. We drew last year against Norwich. We've lost to Norwich this time, so it was a point. So, and then we got Preston, who we beat. We beat them at home last year. So effectively, we're kind of in a little bit of a status quo in many ways. We haven't really gained any points compared to the teams that we've actually faced. Oxford as well as the other one. We beat them away from home, and obviously we beat them away from home last season. So
you're saying it's going to be exactly
exactly
the same season.
It's going to be exactly the same. It's going to be a carbon copy. The only difference being is that we're not going to go through those terrible games at the beginning, be bottom of the league in November, and then claw our way out of it. But I think there's good signs, and I think we're playing better football. We're looking more solid. We're looking more difficult to beat, and we haven't been embarrassed in any games as yet, have we? I think, with the exception of those 10-15 minutes against Norwich, we've actually been decent.
Yeah, definitely the defence is a lot more solid.
Yeah, let's talk about the Schmidt.
I think there was a lot of changes, wasn't there, as well? The first few games of last season, constant injuries. I know we've had a few injuries. But let's just see how we go.
Let's briefly talk about the Schmid Ogilvie incident. Now, a lot of people are saying obviously about the little push in the back by the guy. I can't remember his name, but clearly he did push him in the back. My question is, what's he doing out? Why is he there? As soon as I saw the ball go over the top and I saw a yellow jersey, I was like, oh, what are you doing? What are you playing at? And my feel was it's just going to bounce straight over his head and they clear it clean through.
I think no, he shouldn't be out there at all. I don't know what he was doing. I think the only one positive we can take from that is that Ogilvie looked like he was going to have one of his really dodgy 1 in 20 really bad games, because he started off quite poor, didn't he? Did that sort of back that put them in.
Oh, that's right.
But no, it was a weird decision. I don't quite know why he came out there. And as for the push in the back, I don't particularly agree with Messinho. I think any player would have done exactly the same. I don't think it was a massive two-handed, I'm going to throw him the keeper. I think it's probably there's two players running towards me, I'm just going to give a little nudge. I don't think he's deliberately gone in there and gone, oh yeah, I'm going to try and crack one of their necks and break the other one's hand. So I don't know what Schmidt was doing, to be honest, and I really wish he had.
He has moments like that, doesn't he? But it is, it's a shame, because it does mean he's now going to miss probably a good third of the season.
Well, they said 8 to 12 weeks, goalkeeper.
8 to 12 weeks, yeah. So if it's 12, that's it's a good third of the season. A quarter of the season, I suppose. Yeah, not a third. But that is bad. It's bad.
Any news on Ogilvie?
They've not said yet, have they? They said they've actually said he's kind of touch and go for the weekend. Which I think that's highly unlikely.
He's hard as nails, even if he has got a
No. Which is the thing, when he was sat there and he had obviously that massive egg on his forehead, and you're thinking, well, he's not staying on, is he? He's not staying on. And then, like, two minutes later, he's up and about and running around and heading balls still, heading balls with his 50p shaped head. And at least you could excuse why they were going the wrong direction then, couldn't you? But it did look like a massive boil, didn't it? Especially when it started leaking.
It wasn't the best, was it?
But I thought Williams did all right when he came on actually at left back.
Williams did okay, I thought he did a great tackle in the box, didn't he? I thought he did okay. I'm still very worried about Killip. I was watching it with my son and my youngest son. When Schmidt went off, I started losing my mind at Killip coming on, and he was like, "Oh, what's so bad about him?" And I said, "Well, he can't kick the ball for a start." I said, "Watch him; he'll kick it out," and he did. He did kick it out at least 3 or 4 times.
Yeah,
and I just don't know how you can do that. And it's not just that game. I'm not just basing it on that game. I saw him in the
Reading game.
What's it called? The Rumbelows Cup or whatever it's called now.
The Milk Cup, The
Milk Cup, And he did the same then. Just kept kicking the ball out of play. And I just think, come on, mate, what you must work on that, surely. It's part and parcel of being a goalie now, isn't it? It's using your feet. So
Messinho's come out and defended him in the news. I think it was today, where he said, actually, his keen is quite good. It's one of the reasons why we bought him. We bought him in, and then he excused the reasons. I can kind of get part of his excuse. He said ultimately he's come on quite quickly into a derby match and had to settle quickly and didn't. Obviously his kicking was quite unsettled, which is fair enough. You can kind of understand that, but Okay, so what happened at Reading? What happened at Reading when he caught the ball 5 yards outside his box and just rolled it out?
And he's not the biggest as well. He's not the most commanding keeper, is he? Which is all of a worry, especially in the Championship when you get these sort of massive 6 foot plus strikers.
Yeah. Well, we've got Ipswich coming up, and we also have Leicester coming up in the next 5 games as well. So that'll be interesting to see what goes down there.
Yeah, we certainly won't get carried away with our point because we know how it can turn around very quickly as a Pompey fan.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, next up, and hopefully it won't turn around this weekend because next up is Sheffield Wednesday at Fratton
What
Park.
could go wrong, Mike? What could possibly go wrong against Sheffield Wednesday at home?
What could possibly go wrong? Sheffield Wednesday, just 1 point so far this season. They have barely any players. Most of their squad is under 21 due to the fact that their owner, Chansiri, I think his name is, doesn't pay the wages often enough, so they're not allowed to bring anybody else in.
Knocked out of the cup by Grimsby the other night. Was it Grimsby? It was Grimsby, wasn't it? They got knocked out by.
Yeah, and they potentially had another couple of extra injuries from that as well, so their squad's going to be threadbare. It should be a banker, shouldn't it? It should be a banker of a home win.
I mean, it should be. I'd like that. Let's have a nice, comfortable 3 or 4-0. That would be lovely. One of those where sort of after 15, 20 minutes, a couple of goals already. Yeah, we can take the foot off the gas. We'll be okay. But who knows? Who knows? But, like I say, what could possibly go wrong?
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Let us know what you think of the score. No, let us know what you think the score is going to be this weekend in the comments down below. And please subscribe to our channel. We are so close to 1,000 subscribers now. It really is a bit of a magic number on YouTube, 1,000 subscribers. We do have nearly 1,700 followers on Facebook. So if you want to follow us on Facebook, it's at Pompey Pod, which is the same on X as well. But we don't really care too much about X. We don't do a lot on X. We've only got a couple of 100 followers. People don't really respond to us on that. I think it's not our generation, Dan.
No. Did we say this last week? You're getting older, isn't you?
Probably. I can't remember what I said last week. Yeah. That's the problem. The problem. But please do subscribe and please smash that bell button.
Yeah, don't just tap it.
Don't tap it. Don't just tap on your mouse or tap on your screen. Smash it. Literally smash it. All right, so we did get a point at Southampton. We do have Sheffield Wednesday coming up. We have 8 from the opening 5 games, which is a good return, I think, considering. And only one slight little annoyance with Norwich so far. All right, in that case, we're going to say goodbye. We'll be back next week with a review of the Sheffield Wednesday game, and we'll look ahead. Who's that? Who's after Sheffield Wednesday? I think it's Ipswich next after them. So we'll look ahead to the Ipswich game. We're getting to the stage now where there's a couple of games in a week. And we've also, there's another thing before we go. 5 of our next 7 games are at home, Dan. So a good chance to actually get some points on the board, isn't it?
No, we're shit at home now, aren't we? It's our away form.
Well, let's hope that's not the case. I hope it's just the Norwich game because we're doing all right. We'll be doing all right. Anyway, we will be back. Play Up Pompey. Goodbye.
Bye.